Hey, what's up guys? It's Grandmaster Shaymin here, and today we're going to be playing, holy goodness, this is loud as fuck. What? Woo! Okay. Anyways. What is it? Oh, I see. Sorry about that. More importantly, how do I get out of here? There we go. Okay. So, yesterday, this Prelude came out called The Waters Above Prelude, where apparently a new game is coming out soon called The Waters Above, and this is the backstory for 4 of the main characters. As far as I know, it might be the 4 main characters, but whatever it might be, I'm really interested. You know, I go on Steam every single day and look up visual novels because I want to try and be one of the first people to come out with these visual novels and show you guys what they're all about. This one probably won't have any decisions. It'll legitimately just be a story. But in the description, if it says Yuri, I have to do it immediately. I was busy last night, but today I have to do this. I have to do this. I need to play through this game on all 4 of the sections. So, obviously, we're going to start with Remind Me and go through this. From what I hear, this is going to be kind of sad, but there's not much out about this yet, so it should be interesting to see what exactly happens and who these characters are and what's going on, but the only thing I know is that it's an upcoming visual novel. Alright, so this blonde chick is laying in the dirt. I don't know what voice to give her. She seems like she's kind of like a aristocratic airhead. Lying in the dirt feels pretty good. Mayra wouldn't like it. I know her. She'd say there are all kinds of gross things down there, and I have such a nice outfit, why would I ever want to get it dirty? But it's nice. It's nice and cool down here, and there are all kinds of friends. Sea slugs are pretty from a distance, but they're even prettier when one's crawling right in front of you. I guess. So is she underwater? I've been lying on the ground for hours, totally still trying to get one to come over. Finally it does. It's so pretty. It's covered in dozens of neon pink tentacles that swirl around it in the water as it inches along the seafloor. Neon pink. Yo, out of all of the colors that you could have chose, you had to make it a Pukumuku. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but if you get it, you get it. Neon pink tentacles. I mean, they're more like little stubs, but I mean, it really works in this situation. I don't move, and it comes closer and closer until finally it crawls onto my outstretched hand. I can barely tell it's there. It's so small and soft, and it feels like it doesn't weigh anything at all. Alright, this looks like kind of like what, her nagging nanny or maybe a friend or acquaintance. Apple, put that down. It's disgusting. Please put it down now. It's Maria. I've been waiting for her all day. I jump to my feet with the sea slug still in my hand and rush over to her. It's not gross. It's friendly. It's pretty and swirly, and it even has a crown, just like you. This one's a queen. I hold it out to her, but I can tell she doesn't like it because she backs away a little. I'm sorry for my broken accent, that's all I can do. They all have crowns. Well then, all sea slugs are queens, Maria. Mera? She is frowning, but I can tell she is trying her best not to smile. She does this a lot. I can tell she's trying to be stern with me, but she's not very good at it. She sighs, which means I won. I look up at the jellyfish crown resting on Mayra's head. She loves it. I can tell she does too, because I have never seen it. I've never seen it her without it. Or maybe. Fuck tons of questions. Questions. Okay. Mayra smiles and bends down at me so we're face to face, and she puts a hand on my cheek. The only possible way you can be cuter is if you put down that slug. I huff. I don't want to have to choose. I'm cute. The sea slug's cute. Together, shouldn't we be like the cutest thing imaginable? But it's not like I can disappoint Mayra. I kneel down and let the sea slug go, and when I stand up, Mayra is smiling. It's so warm. It feels so safe. I love it when she smiles at me. To answer your other question, of course I don't breathe with my crown. I just like how it looks. She smiles again, but she's biting her lips so that this time it looks a little nervous. Maybe she's being self-conscious. She shouldn't be. She looks really good in her crown. She's got to be the prettiest sea nymph there ever was. I bet everyone else is jealous of her. I don't get a chance to tell her that though, because she breathes in really deeply and then she exhales it. As she exhales, her face is more determined, like she just decided on something. It's okay. I'd like to ask you some questions now. It's essential that you answer me honestly as you possibly can. She is looking directly into my eyes. I think this is really important to her. So I take a deep breath, like she just did, and when I exhale, I try to make my face as determined as hers. I don't think it works though, because she breaks into a smile. Alright then. She sounds like she's trying to hold back a laugh. She better not be wanting to laugh at me. I wasn't trying to be funny, so it's not allowed. Eventually, her serious expression returns to her face, and she puts both hands on my shoulders. Apple Eye, I need you to tell me how you got like this. Like this? What do you mean? I look down at myself. I don't get it. My clothes aren't dirty, Mayra. I promise. They're not even really real. So I can roll on the ground as much as I want and it's not a problem. You don't need to worry. She shakes her head. I don't mean that. Do you remember when you were born, the shape you had? That's how every other star is. They all look like that all the time. That's why they need us to take care of them. But you are different. Why are you different? Interesting. So wait. So what's her face? Unnamed person here. I'm pretty sure we've actually got her name, but I don't remember it right now. But she is a star. The fuck does that even mean? And Mayra, I'm still not sure of her thing. Her voice was trembling a little, and when she speaks, her eyes are glistening. Not with tears, right? I don't want her to cry. It seems almost scared, though, but I'm not sure what would be scaring her. Mayra, are you alright? It's okay, I promise. I just need to know how you got like this. Her brow is scrunched up, and she's holding onto my shoulders really tight. I can tell she wants me to know how important this is to her. And if it's that important to her, it's important to me too. The only problem is, I don't really know. I hear lots of voices from lots of other stars all the time. Old stars, young stars, stars who have been passed away, and even stars that haven't been born. They tell me all kinds of things. They're always talking to each other, to themselves, and to me. But it's hard to make any sense of it, and I don't think they've ever said anything about why I change my shape. And I don't really know how to ask them questions back. Every time I try, they either can't hear me or pretend not to. Mayra is looking at me, just waiting. She looks so sure I can answer her. I don't really know. I'm sorry, Mayra. I just woke up like this. I didn't do anything special. I don't think I'm anything special. Mayra is disappointed by this. She looks away from me to the ground, but I don't want to disappoint her. But it's great, isn't it? It's so much more freedom. It's so much more fun. I can run, I can jump, I can do a cartwheel. I mean, I can't do a cartwheel, but not yet at least. I don't try now because I don't want to fall on my face in front of Mayra. That would be quite embarrassing. All I need is a little practice. And I can laugh. I love laughing. It sounds like really cute when I do it too. And I can do this. I run up to Mayra and put my arms around her neck. She seems surprised for a moment, but then she hugs me too. She said arms. Arms around the neck, definitely a hug. But if you go too fast, it's like, oh my god, her hands! She's trying to kill her. No, okay. This is too innocent and pure to be that. Right? I feel so safe like this. It reminds me of all those times that Mayra hugged me before, and now I can hug her back. I don't care why it happened. I'm just glad it did. I love you, Mom. Oh, Mayra pulls back and looks at me. I'm not even sure what that word means. I only know it from the stories Mayra used to tell me. So here's a question. So is saying mom to... I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if you think about it. But I don't know about the word. Like, that's just the thing that doesn't make a lot of sense. That was really stupid. I just said that. But how is it like a automatic reaction and then, oh, mom, that must be what you are called. Nani? I know she isn't really. I don't really have a mom. No star does. But if any star was going to, then it would be me, and my mom would be her. My face is hot, but I don't have anything to be embarrassed about. She must not think it should be embarrassing, either, because she just smiles, kisses me on the forehead, and stands up. I have one other question for you. I nod, and I hope I'm able to answer this one a little better than I did last. Why did you do it? Why did you release all those stars? That one's easy. I wanted them to be free. Just like I am. It's so much fun. This is the way it should be. I just wanted them to be able to smile like I can. I want to make everyone smile. That's what I want most. But more than anyone else, the person I want to smile the most is you, Mom. That's what Lennon would have wanted, I think. Mira's eyes go wide as I finish talking, and I see them glisten even more than before. She quickly spins on her heel and turns her back to me. Myra, what's wrong? Myra raises a hand to her face and she looks like she wipes something away before she turns back around. Myra, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong, child. Nothing at all. She's staring at me so intently, it makes me a little self-conscious. I promise, I'm not going to let anything happen to you, no matter what it takes. I don't really know what she means by that, but I know absolutely that it's true. Myra would never lie to me. Okay. So, this is a prelude after all. It makes us know the characters a little bit better for when the actual visual novel comes out, which I'm definitely interested in at this point. So, in the first one, to kind of sum it all up, it looks like there are these, I don't want to say people, but these creatures called stars that probably don't have like an actual physical form, that maybe have some sort of power or something. And so Mayra is the one who's trying to take care of them. Meanwhile, the other chick here is one of them, maybe like one of the leaders. So I think this chick right here is the mom, is the chick in question. So we'll get to her in a second. But first, we've got this second story. She looks... Should I give her the southern accent? No. Maybe I'll give her like a normal one. I'm drumming my fingers on the table. The couple next to me keeps giving me all kinds of glares. But what do they want from me? So this city is underwater. Is this Najiasu? Yo. I love that show so much. It's one of my favorites of all time. If you have not seen, if you like anime, you probably like anime if you're looking at visual novels. So, if you like anime, watch Naji Asu. It is so good. One of my favorite shows. It has an excellent plot. The plot twist in the middle of the show is absolutely amazing, shakes everything up. Totally not what I expected at all. Not to mention, on top of that, there's just some of those brilliant scenery that you can see outside of Ufotable. Like, absolutely terrific animation quality. Definitely something you should check out. But the fact that all of this is happening underwater definitely reminds me of Najiasu, especially because they look human. And Najiasu has, this mystical veil over a person called an Enna, and that Enna is what helps them breathe underwater and live underwater, protects them from water pressure, and helps them to take in the air that they need from underwater. So it's pretty neat. Definitely something worth checking out if you haven't done it already. Anyway, I'm nervous. I mean, they've been talking about the weather for at least 15 minutes now, and it's not like I'm distracting them from anything important. Yo, this is like that is the most obvious or the most awkward like go-to question. I don't know if the couple is like on their first date or something, but that is totally something I could see like a normal couple doing. Is this is my first date? Well, how about that weather, eh? And then they just 15 minutes. Damn. If anything, I'm doing them a favor. This favor's spelled in an American way. I don't know. When I was growing up, I lived in Canada from 5th through 7th grade, And that's like the time of your life where you really kind of, I don't know, where some of your most dramatic character development happens, I want to say. That might not be the best way to put it. But like when I lived in Canada, um, you know, that's when I learned. So like I remember, like on one of the first days of class. I know this is this is probably distracting. I'm sorry if you came to see that. I'm sorry, but I have to go on this little tangent about the word favor because when I was in Canada, one of the first days of class, in English class, we had a list of the top 30 most misspelled words, um, and one of them was color, and one of them was favor, and one of them was favorite. And those were the only three ones I got wrong on the test because I spelled them the American way, which is not okay in Canada. I got big ol' X on it. And I had no idea such a thing existed back in 5th grade. I had no idea there was multiple ways to spell favor or favorite or color. So then I vowed at that point, I was like, fine, if you want to be that way, fine. And then, so I have never spelt it without the U ever since then. I've always used Celsius. I use the metric system. While I am used to Fahrenheit, being living in the U.S. From 8th grade through now, I've been in the United States, so it's not like I'm not used to it, but I definitely don't use it myself. But it definitely like throws me off when I see favor that way because America's the only one that spells it that way. So you know that this is an American made product or American translated product. I'm not sure which one it is, but whichever one it is, America. Giving them an object of mutual annoyance, that's a lot easier to bond over than, well, gee, the weather sure is nice lately, repeated over and over ad nauseum. Dude, this chick is kind of relatable. I'm not gonna lie. She's sarcastic and funny, at least so far. I know it hasn't been that. They'll owe me a thank you at the wedding. I like this chick. I like this chick a lot. The server comes back and tops off my drink, even though I barely touched it. She gives me a weak smile, and I laugh nervously. Still waiting. I just got here way too early. Oh no. This is why I'm always late for things. I'm not good at waiting. I'm not a waiter. I love her sarcasm. I'm not good at waiting. Waiters are good for that. Well, I'll be back in a little bit if you need anything, she says before she patters off to another table. See it? And I go back to my anxious drumming. That's how you get it done. You just drum on the table. The anticipation really is the worst thing. And that's when I hear a voice behind me, delicate and refined, every syllable immaculately presented, a voice like a poem. I hope you haven't been waiting long. I knew it. That's how I had to do it. So she's like, is she gonna be the connection to all of this? Maybe she's gonna be the number one main character. And maybe this is your different routes that you have. I turn around. She's standing there. Her makeup, her hair, her dress, all as flawless as her speech. She should be a doll. I still can't believe she agreed to be seen with a big pile of garbage. Whoa! Whoa! Chill the fuck out! Man, this girl is even more relatable. Sarcastic and an absolute pessimist who destroys herself. Man, she's just like me. Anyway, what I don't say is, oh no, I've only been waiting here freaking out for a half hour. Instead, another nervous laugh. Not long. Besides, you're right on time. I don't even need to look at the clock to confirm that. I'm also glad the server took away the 2 plates of fried flounder rolls I had eaten earlier. Don't judge me, a A nervous girl gets hungry. And then I don't know what to say. For a minute, I sit there thinking, oh god, I'm gonna end up like the weather couple, aren't I? It takes everything in me to stop myself from saying something insufferable like lovely weather we're having, but nowhere near as lovely as you. Wait, is she, like, attracted to her? I mean, I know this is gonna be when The Waters Above actually comes out, it's gonna be a Yuri visual novel, so obviously there's gonna be some Yuri elements in it, but I'm just sitting here thinking, well, is she attracted to her right off the bat? Oh, I'm sorry, you should sit down. I jump up without a second thought and pull out the chair across from me. Mayra smiles graciously and sits down before I return to my seat. I sit down and still can't think of anything to say. I'm so sorry for judging you couple from earlier. Yo, she's so relatable. I'm still not sorry for annoying you, though. I'm really glad you agreed to come out with me. I'm sure you're really busy being adored and everything. I mean, means a lot that you make time for a wretched jockey like me. What? I'm sure you've got lots of other girls vying for your attention. So, 2 questions. Why did she refer to herself as a wretched jockey? I don't know whether that means, like, something really negative, or, like, she rides seahorses. And she's putting herself down about it. And then, my other question is, a lot of other girls vying for your attention. Are there no men in this world? Because that would be totally understandable. At least in this case. Just because, you know, it would make more sense for there to be male-female couples. And she's not saying other people vying for your attention. Mayra purses her lips and looks away for a moment. I use the opportunity to brush some errant bits of fried fish from my shirt before she turns back around. You must be surprised. I don't think I'm very approachable. I laugh a bit and shake my head, but she's not wrong, really. I mean, even I'm intimidated by her, and usually I'm too dumb to be nervous. Mayra, though, she reaches across the table with a warm smile and puts her hand on mine. Not like you. You've got such a crowd around you, and everyone's always smiling. Maybe you could help me be better at it. Being friendly, I mean. I'm not sure how the expression on my face reads, but given that she immediately pulls her hand away and covers her mouth with it, I imagine it's not good. Oh, I'm incredibly sorry. We barely even know each other, and I'm already petitioning you for favors. That was rude of me. I shouldn't have. I jump out of my seat at that. The table shakes, and I do but thankfully none of the glasses. And as I do, but thankfully, I think but shouldn't be there, right? Take the but out. The table shakes as I do. Thankfully, none of the glasses fall over or anything. There should be like a comma instead of but. Or in front of but even. Because anyway, look at me being an English major. Okay. A bunch of other patrons, thank you, turn to look at me, but honestly, I'm handsome as hell, so really they should. This chick did a 180. What? So 5 seconds ago, you're like a wretched jockey like me, complete and utter trash. A bunch of other patrons turned to look at me, but honestly, I'm handsome as hell, so really they should be. Nani? How does that make any sense? No, that's totally fine. I was just surprised because I'm such a huge mess. I think people only like hanging out with me so much because it makes them look like they have their lives together by comparison. I'm sure the girl who I almost hit with my chair when I kicked it back would just now would agree. But if you really think I could help, I'd love to. I sit back down to see Mayra smiling again. I mean, if I hadn't made a fool out of myself, at least that makes it worth it. I don't know how you do it. Do what? She waves her hand to the side, gesturing to the people, just finally turning back around with the aristocratic aloofness that doesn't fit the insecurity of her words. Deal with being at the center of attention like that. Having so many eyes on me always makes me feel like I'm going to wilt. Oh, well, who cares what they think, I guess. I mean, if I've got everyone's eyes on me, then that must mean I'm at least doing something worth watching. But it better be laugh at than be boring. Fair enough. Honestly, like, if you think about it honestly, if you're just boring, one-dimensional as a person, you're probably not going to have as many people actually want to be around you. And even if you make a fool out of yourself, you're still going to be able to find people that care about you and enjoy being around you and don't think that you're a complete idiot. Just, you know. Or maybe they do think you're a complete idiot, but they like you anyway. At least that's what my grandma always used to say. Of course, my grandma was a clown. I wonder if she means that literally. Okay. She was a clownfish. Totally makes more sense. Okay, now that I understand that out of the way. Oh, she wasn't a clownfish either. Myra just bites her lips and averts her eyes. It makes me wish that I had actually ended with the bad clownfish joke. I start to say something probably obnoxious to bring her smile back, but that's when our server reappears at our table. I'm not sure whether to be relieved or annoyed. Are you ladies ready to order? I look at Mayra. I definitely haven't given her a chance to look at her menu, but she orders without a second's hesitation. I mean, there's only like 2 restaurants in this town, so she probably just knows what she likes. Then the server turns to me. Can I get a plate of fried flounder rolls with some spicy squid ink dip? The server narrows her eyes at me knowingly. She said she had 2 already, right? Listen, if a girl wants to eat 3 plates of fried fish rolls in one sitting, that's her prerogative. I don't blame you. I just had 3/4 of a box of spaghetti for dinner, along with some ground beef and tomato sauce, and 3 glasses of milk, and cheese, and now I'm snacking on some Cheetos. Well, I was. I'm not going to do it during the video, but... Then she lets us know she'll be back with the food shortly after shortly in her most chipper voice and pads away again. Anyway, I think you handle being the center of attention just fine. You've certainly got this air of certainty and elegance about you. You could probably burp in the middle of a speech and everyone would think that it was a perfect savoir-faire? Savoir-faire? She giggles at that. She seems to get discouraged easily, but it's just as easy for me to bring her back from it, so I don't mind. You don't mind that she gets discouraged easily? Shouldn't you be trying not to have her be discouraged at all? You're probably right, but I think that says more about them than it does about me. I'm surprised to see her playing along with this, even if it's her own if it is in her own restrained and polite way, so I decide to take it even further. I don't know, pretty impressive how you've convinced them to hang on to your every word, really. You don't give yourself enough credit. I think everyone else gives me more than enough of that, regardless of whether it's due. She sinks again, but I'm not going to let her in this time. Well, I promise to never give you credit for anything ever then. I'll keep it all for myself. She laughs, a real laugh, not some polite affectation, affectation, but a genuine one. It's shrill and annoying and not cute at all, and I can't help but find it adorable. She quickly covers her mouth and forces herself to stop, but it's too late. I've already fallen in love. Not even bad. Okay. I open my eyes naked in the sand. Nani? What is this? We're not even... Is this really, 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 really close up of your back? Because anime characters are known for being pretty pale. It's Shaymin! Anyway, as I open my eyes naked in the sand, I wonder what it would feel like... what it would be like to feel the sun on your bare skin. What would it be like to live in a world with air, with a sky that is above and not beneath your feet, where the stars are distant points of light, not cherished friends? How strange it would be to wake with the hot sun shining directly on your face, to see shadows cast at every turn. The morning water is bright and warm, but the light comes from every direction, not the sky emanating from the magic that infuses every inch of the water that surrounds us. I turned to Cleo, laying beside me, sleeping so soundly she would be perfect for that spotlight. Myself, I was born to be the stellar stagehand I am. I'd melt away in heat. I lift Cleo's arm off my chest and kiss her hand gently before laying it on the ground. She does not wake, not even stir. She's so beautiful. The sun couldn't hope to compete. Even laying there silently, it looks like her smile could flash across her face at any moment, and I love that smile, so quick and easy. I love the infectious way she laughs. Why would I ever need the sun when I have her? I sit up and run my hand along her back. Fine grains and sand roll smoothly between my skin and hers. I feel like I could sit here admiring her like this for hours. I really could too. I have no pressing responsibilities today. I'm sure Cleo would enjoy the adulation as well. But I wouldn't want to indulge either of us that much, and honestly, I'm not sure which of us needs it less. I stand up and try to brush the sand off from my back and my legs. I should have brought a towel. I don't know why I let Cleo talk me into these things. It clings to my skin. It's probably all in my hair too. I'll be shaking it out for weeks. But I can't say last night wasn't fun. What? You and Cleo get along well. I feel my face start to flush just thinking about it. I shake off those unladylike thoughts, just like I shake the sand off my clothes as I pick them up. And as I put mine on, I do the same with Cleo's, leaving them folded on a nearby rock. As I'm doing that, I hear snickering from behind me. I turn around and there she is, with that unflagging smile, arms outstretched, sand sparkling on her boobs. And she's laughing at me. Come back. I just spent all... What? I didn't even do anything! She pouts, but it's just an infection. Her lips purse in such an exaggerated manner. I can tell she doesn't expect me to take it seriously. Besides, she had to have known there was no way I was getting back down there. I throw her shirt onto her face. Get dressed. Cleo pulls the shirt down over her head and then wiggles her arms through the holes. So Cleo... Yo, wait! Wait. Did they get together? I knew it because... I knew it was her because of the way that this circle comes up. And the blue shell circle has to be Mayra, right? Mayra and Cleo are like a thing, right? You sure are in a hurry. You must have something real exciting planned for today. You're the one supposed to be making plans today. My schedule is completely open. Well, what I'd planned to do was stay in bed longer than this. I walked over to her, and crouching down, I do my best to fix the mess that is her hair. There's not much I can do, though. I don't think Cleo's ever brushed it in her life, and every time I bring it up, she just shrugs. While I'm preoccupied with that, she pulls my hands away by the wrists and presses her lips against mine so forcefully, I almost lose my balance. Yo. However, she just wraps her arm around my waist, pulling me closer, stabilizing me. Damn. Cleo, you go, girl. Just like that always, she's there to prop me up. I pull back from the kiss, and standing I grab her hands and pull her up. She groans as I lift her to her feet. Aren't we supposed to be relaxing? The whole point of taking time off is so you could sleep in with me. Cleo yawns and blinks, still shaking off the effects of her sleep. Still holding her by the hand, I led her over to the rest of her clothes. Staying in bed all day isn't relaxing to me, you know that. I look back to where we were laying just a few moments ago. Not that you could call it a pile of sand a bed. You sure, though? I don't think I've ever seen you just sit and do nothing in all the time I've known you. When was the last time you let yourself be lazy? I turn out my hands open-palmed. I don't like doing nothing. Far from being relaxing, it makes me anxious. We only have so much time, and there's so many things I could be doing. Besides, just sitting around leaves me all alone with my thoughts, and less time spent like that, the better. She lifts her head up and kisses me on the cheek. Well, this is supposed to be Mayra time, so if you're sure you don't want to join me in a nice long wallow. Then she puts her lips to mine again, and I realize, to me, kissing her is the most relaxing thing in the entire world. For a long time we don't talk. The peaceful waters are only occasionally disturbed by passing school of fish, or the errant crab crawling amongst the rocks. Hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, winding our way through the silent sands outside of town, taking our time, nowhere to be, enjoying one another's presence. The celestial authority always balks when it take days like this. Their head of maintenance heading off to the wilderness for a full day with the keeper who cares for Lennian, one of the brightest stars in the sky. We don't get this opportunity often, and I intend to relish it. 'Tis only a mile or two back to town, but we take our time wandering around in whatever direction catches our fancy. I feel Cleo squeeze my hand in several short bursts. I look up to see her pointing off to the distance, out towards an outcropping of pink coral. Look at that! That's just like your hair color. It's so cool. I smile. Even from this distance, I can tell it's not. It's a much brighter color than my hair. Almost neon, even. What's with everything being neon? We should take a closer look. And I move forward, purring her along with me. At least at first. But Cleo quickly gets overexcited and runs ahead until she's dragging me. In her rush, she lets go of my hand and dashes forward. I feel a stupid little pang of loneliness in my heart as her fingers brush past mine. She stops when she gets to the outcropping and turns around, smiling at me expectantly. See what I say? They're exactly the same. You could be related. Sweetie, I love you, but they're nothing alike. Could you imagine me with such a garnish color? I'd never be able to leave the house. Her smile just widens, totally disregarding my correction. You'd leave the house for me. You already do. Her voice is coy and teasing. She's right though, but it makes me want to play along. So I puff out my cheeks, fold my arms across my chest, and spin around on my heel. Humph! I found it in myself to leave the house just fine before I met you. She's immediately behind me, hands on my shoulders, attempting to mollify my feigned annoyance. You sure about that? She says as she peeks out from behind my shoulder. I jerk my head away, chin up in aristocratic defiance. But that's when I see it. On the ground, a starfish, with each of its arms in the claw of a crab, pulling it in each direction. The sight sends a shiver through me. Lenian. A pretense of annoyance drains from me. Cleo must recognize something was wrong, because she grips tight under my arms. Hey, is everything okay? I point down at the starfish, and immediately, as I do, it is torn asunder. The crabs scurry away along the sand, each carrying one piece of it. I was never good at omens, but the way this had seized my heart, it had to be one. I want to be wrong. I've always been wrong before. I'm just a stupid girl who's wrong again and bad at divination, getting worried over nothing. Still, I have to know. It can't be about them. It's just a starfish. I turn around and Cleo squeezes my hand tighter. Undaunted, I hike my skirt and run, my fingers slipping through her grasp. Unlike before, I didn't feel the pang of loneliness as our hands part. I get back and Lennon will be there, safe and asleep in their chamber, my beautiful star ready to light up the sky tomorrow night. Cleo calls out to me, but I don't look back. I'm just a stupid girl who's letting her anxiety get the better of her again. Please, let that be true. It feels like I made it to town in an instant. My thoughts are tilting and twirling in my mind. Any moment I think I have a hold on one, it seems to slip right by me. All I can do is keep running. I move through the streets, forcing people to jump out of my way. I don't even bother to try and avoid them, and I don't care what kind of scandalized looks they give me. All I care about is Lennon's safety. So I keep on. As I do, I see someone I know. Recognitions flash across my face. They yell at my name. They reach out to grab me. I jump to the left, nearly losing my balance in my heels. I right myself on the passerby and then wave my way into the crowd. I know what they want to say. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it if it's not true. Let me delude myself just a bit longer. I just want to run back out of the city, back into Cleo's arms. Just pretend none of this is happening. I don't want to do that. I can't. Lennon deserves so much more than that. After all they've withered, after everything they've helped me through, I have to pretend to be strong. I want to see them. I need to see them. They always say moments like this feel endless, that everything is moving in slow motion. Oh man, I'm freaking out. Lennon's gonna die. No. I wish that were true. I wish these streets stretched out endlessly towards the horizon. I wish I could have spent just one more moment longer before crossing this watershed that I've never thought I'd have to cross. But the truth is, I'm there before I know it. I bolt up the stairs, past the guards checking badges. I think I even shove one of them out of the way. The entrance hall is mostly empty. Most of the stars have already in their places in the sky. Keepers beside them humming cryptic lullabies, just like I'm supposed to be doing right now. I dash through the hallways, making sharp turn after another, slamming into walls. I don't care at all. As I'm running, I stumble forward, and my heel slips out of my shoe. I catch myself on the wall, but I don't stop. I just kick off my shoes and keep running, my feet slapping against the cold marble floors. And I finally reach it, Lennon's room. The light is on, the door is opened, and from inside I can hear low voices. I'm panting. I cannot breathe. I cannot swallow. My whole body quivers, and I can't tell if it's fear or exhaustion. I take a tentative step forward. My stomach lurches. I close my eyes and try to breathe, try to calm myself. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. When I open my eyes again, the assistant archivist is standing in front of me, glaring, with that unreadable expression on her face. She's exactly who I don't want to see right now. There is no... there is no need for you to run. Her voice is as cold as I feel right now. She glances down to my bare feet, and then, without another remark, she steps back into Lennon's room. I follow her, and in that moment, I do. All my fears are confirmed. I can't feel Lennon at all. I can't hear their voice in my head. The warmth and love perpetually radiating from them is gone. They're gone. My legs give out and my knees crack against the ground. There's two other nymphs in the room, both of them wearing white gowns, masks. They're standing over a bed in the center of the room where Lennon is still laying, poking, prodding. They have some instruments in their hands, getting some kind of readings. I don't know what they're for. I don't know who they are. I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be doing. And Iris, next to them, just writing away on her parchment, completely detached from the situation. Not one of them has so much as glanced at me. Holding onto the door frame, I raise shakily to my feet. I make a few unsteady steps across the room, closer to the bed, closer to them. All the glow is gone from their body. Their shimmering flesh is dull and dark and lifeless, as empty as a sky without them. Lennon, what happened? My face is hot. My eyelids are quaking. The tears are running down my face and dripping off my chin. I reach out my hand. I want to touch them. I'm not sure if it's to confirm that this is really happening, or if it's parting tenderness. It doesn't matter anyway, because I don't get to. Iris grabs my wrist. She squeezes so hard that her nails dig into my skin, but she doesn't look up at me. I yank my hand free. How did this happen? Tell me how this happened! I finally get her attention and we lock eyes. If you were half the Starkeeper anyone imagines you to be, you wouldn't have to ask that. What a bitch! How? The words catch on my teeth. I'm stunned. Even the other two nymphs in the room realize how cruel that is. One looks up and glares at her. Iris just goes back to her writing as though nothing happened. Then the nymph in white turns to me. We're not sure how it happened. Their vital alarm went off this morning. It's just really... Pardon, it's really hot in here. And... my body just gets hot when I'm feeling, like, sad. Like... Nani? By the time someone got in here, they were already gone. It's interesting that they're using they pronouns, not she. Gone. Lennon's gone. I don't want to hear that. I always thought I would be bonded to them for life. They were old, but they still had hundreds of years left. They were supposed to outlive me. Like, they had dozens of Starkeepers before. But now I'm here. I'm alone. They've left me all alone. What am I supposed to do? She keeps talking, but nothing else she says matters. Every word washes over me like another wave of grief. Oh, that is in here. Her voice is remote fading. I'm not sure if she's talking to me anymore. 4 other stars. The lines of the world wobble and burst. The colors seep out and blend into the inky blackness at the exact same time. I built my life around Lennon. Being a Starkeeper was what defined me. They needed me like no one else ever needed me. Like no one else ever would. We're working to find an answer. I was everything to them, and they were my light. and then a hand on my shoulder, trying to pull me back. With the hand comes a voice. The words are perfunctory, like an item being checked off a list. I'm sorry for your loss. Holy shit! Lennon just died! In the prelude! Nothing has technically even, happened yet! I wake up sick. I wake up shaking. It's so cold. Wait. What is... Oh, it's just a ribbon with a little... Get off my screen. I don't want to update anything. Why do these stupid applications have to remind me every single day, you should update this? No, I really shouldn't. More importantly, Lennon just fucking died. Go away, computer. It's so cold. It's cold and my stomach quakes. My first thought is to curl up, wrap my arms around myself, and retain some heat. I don't have a blanket. I'm naked? And it's so cold, I've lost my feeling in my fingers. I have to do what I can to stay warm, but I can't. The second I try to move, my arms tug against restraints. I'm strapped down. My arms, my legs, my head, strapped to so tight I can't even move them a centimeter. Strapped down so tight I can feel the buckles digging into my flesh. So tight, it's going to bruise. In my grogginess, it takes a moment for fear to set in. I look at my situation as if from the outside, with a cold curiosity, almost amusement. But when the fear comes in, comes unrestrained. A strange place, a cold steel table, bright lights, silence, and worst of all, the waters feel empty, devoid of life, devoid of magic. It feels like breathing air. It feels like I'm always on the edge of my breathlessness. My fear comes in and it comes hard. I tear at my restraints like a panicked animal. If anything, they only tighten. So this is what it feels like. It strikes me that this is the first time I've really felt it. I don't like it. But that thought, that realization brings on a whole flood of others that only make my fear worse. I don't remember last night, or the hour before, or the day at all, even the year. I don't remember anything. For all I know, I was born this moment. The past stretches out behind me like a formless, unreachable expanse, and growing void, a yearning pit, hungry and impatient. I want to fill it. I have to fill it. I can't just leave it empty like this. It's not right. So I scream. Or I try, but only a pained rasp comes out of my mouth. My eyelids tighten and quiver. I want to cry. I don't even know that I can. I'm not sure if it's something I'm capable of. Ah! My body tells me it's something I've never done. That's when I hear a voice drift from across the room. Wait. Is this a different person? Shameful, you're the worst one yet. That voice. It's like the deepest rumblings of a wave. I recognize that voice. Okay, the voice is my own. Each time, you just keep getting weaker and weaker. The disgust at seeing myself whimper and cry is almost too much to take. My muscles tighten and freeze. I can't turn my head to look at her, but I know what she looks like. And the things she says, the things she implies, just how many have there been? Oh well, we all have to suffer in pursuit of knowledge. She laughs, a laugh like crackling bone. The laugh of a predator. That's what she is, a predator. I've fallen prey to myself. I test my restraints again. I can feel her getting closer. I can feel her draining all the heat, all the life, all the joy from the water with every step. And then she's standing over me, watching, smiling, or trying, with the curled and broken line of her mouth. Her smile, my smile. Yo, she looks evil as fuck. Like, look at that smile. She looks dastardly. She's displeased. I wonder if after everything else, you could handle being sedated again. I don't mind finding out. You're perfectly expendable. You exist to be expendable. I stop. I'm just wasting my energy anyway. But the sinking pit of my stomach tells me that it doesn't matter. It's all her game anyway. Who are you? I finally managed to gasp out. She smiles, so wide and bright, brighter than the line hanging over me. She puts her hand against my cheek, almost tenderly, but I try to recoil, and I can't move. This, more than anything else, is too much for me. Yo, she's moved up her lips, and so, oh my god, she's so evil. You're smarter than that, I hope. Then, as absurd as her gentleness, she drags her fingernails across my cheek. I wince as she draws blood. Damn! I thought this was just gonna be like a cutesy Yuri romance, and now, fudge, someone's died and now torture? My goodness. Or not. None of you have been particularly bright. She turns around and steps away. I'm not even worth looking at. You are me. You're my clone. I made you as a subject for my experiments. Our experiments. I don't react. Something in me acknowledges that this is correct. That I would do the same thing given the need. This isn't the kind of person I want to be. But it won't do any good to pretend it's not true. Now, she turned around, and I can tell because her voice is clear again, clean and sharp, surgical. It's your turn. She steps closer, so deliberately I can hear her shoes click twice on the metallic floor, the click of her heel slipping to the click of her toe. She's drawing it out. She wants the anticipation to build in me. She wants me to be afraid. Why does she want me to be afraid? How does this help her? We are the same. It should be obvious to me. But it isn't. I can't follow her. I don't know what she's after. Maybe we aren't so similar after all. But why wouldn't we be? So tell me, do you remember being born? I open my mouth to reply. I don't. I don't remember anything, and she must know that. If anything, this is my birth. But before I can speak, she jolts across the few feet between us in a moment. She grabs the table and shakes it with force of her movement. Despite that, however, her voice is still sweet and methodical. Don't answer thoughtlessly. Try before you speak. I realize I'm holding my breath. I inhale deeply. I don't want to try and remember, not because I think she's wrong, but because I know she isn't. There must be something for me to remember. I don't have a choice, though. I don't want her to think that about what she'd do to me if I defied her. I close my eyes. I try to calm myself. It's not easy in this situation. My hands are shaking. All I can think. I can feel something in the back of my mind waiting. I have no links to it. I feel buried, planted in the recesses long ago, completely disconnected. I reach out for it, but it only pulls me further and further away. I'm tied down here just as much as I am tied to the table, and I give up just as quickly here. When I open my eyes, the other is standing over me. Don't. Her voice crackles and pops. Her eyes swirl and sparkle. Don't stop now, Ira. Ira. I don't know that word, so why does it feel so familiar? Ira. That's my name, isn't it? I'm Iris. And then I remember. Walking on the altar. Being taken into my keeper's arms. My naming. Before that, I remembered being called, compelled, pulled. desperate pieces of me gathering, condensing, giving birth to something new, to something much greater than before. And then I'm back on the table, the bile rising in my throat, the other still hovering over me, her hair covering my face like a curtain. What have you done to me? Do you still not get it? She lifts her head up, smiling. She loves showing off how smart she is, how smarter she is than everyone else, even if that person is herself. I thought you'd be able to figure it out between the two of you. And then it snaps, and the two galaxies inside me clash together. I am Iris, but I'm also something else. I'm also the star Era. And Era's memory spans tens of thousands of years, back before Era was even born, before they were even a dream. And now I can hear them. The voices of my siblings, the voices of my ancestors, the voices of stars yet to be born. The whispered cacophony of time. How did you do it? She laughs again, that sickening laugh, a laugh that brings down the gods. I injected star material directly into you while you were growing. It'll kill you soon enough. It's extremely toxic. You don't have to worry, though. You've done me such a great favor. You've rendered it harmless. You've given me a way to gain the memories of the stars myself. The stars are dying, Era. They're dying fast, and no one seems to care, not even the stars themselves. But we care, don't we? We do. More than anything. And with this, we might be able to save them. We need to understand why. I shudder, her wide smile, her sharp teeth. I don't trust her with this. I know her better than anyone, and I know she can't be trusted. Then what happens to me? She pulls her face close, so close I can taste the blood on her breath, so close I can see the hate on her tongue. Darling, I'm going to eat you. Yo! Wow. Looks like you haven't played Heart of the Woods demo. You should give that a shot before and then come back here. You might find a small surprise. Interesting. I'm very interested to see what the Waters Above is going to be like. It definitely seems interesting. If I wasn't so poor, I'd definitely want to try and help them out on their Patreon, which if you download the game yourself to look at some of the extras and stuff, definitely check that out if you're a little bit um, in less of a situation as I am. Hopefully, once I get my career on track in a couple years, things like this, I could be like, oh, well, that was cool. They deserve some money, and I could give it to them. But until I have a real career, I don't have the money to do that. But thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed the show because I thought it was really interesting. I think that this is definitely a very interesting game. Um, Definitely a really interesting game, as you can see some of the cute artworks. So make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me. It would be greatly appreciated. I really do hope you enjoyed it enough to maybe perhaps think about getting it at some point in the near future. I'm definitely interested to see how these two will turn out. It looks like there's definitely going to be some connection there. Yeah, I'm definitely really interested in the Waters Above So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe for future content, especially if you want to see me play this game when it comes out, because you know I'll probably be taking that. Yeah, and I'll see y'all later.